I love your background, Brandon. It's so intense that it's like, but my gut is like, that's a green screen, but I know it's not.
Yeah, you know what? The green screen works really well. Like there's no clipping at all. Like it's really kind of nice. But
yeah, you can grab stuff right off the back.
You don't have a Dragunov back there, do you?
Yes, right up there. SVD.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Papa Shaw, is that Filato? The PPS?
Yeah, it's currently got a MP40 magazine magwell in it because I put it in for a video and I couldn't figure out how to get it out. It is stuck, so it's just it lives there now.
So Brandon, I'm a little mixed. Which is your left? Raise your right hand for me, would you?
Right hand.
Okay, right side, third one down.
That is a VSS Ventores.
Oh,
so the super quiet Tarkov boy, the 9x39.
I was just gonna say I used it in Tarkov. I didn't recognize it. Like
what is the absolute worst gun behind you? The one that like if you had to get in a conflict, you're like, fuck, not this one.
I'd rather have a knife.
Yeah.
Ew, Jesus. Well, probably the RPG because it's demilled. So that one that's not absurdly useful.
No, that's an impact RPG. You have to hit him.
Yeah, it's more of a bludgeon. You know, it's a big steel tube, so you'll still get some shit done.
What is the short one near that white plaque? Sort of diagonally.
The short one.
So there's a white plaque.
Yep.
Yeah, and then diagonal. Nope, just to the corner of it.
No,
or the other way.
That's the fun one, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the 1887 model 1887, and then just the
It's so like these video games are based on real guns.
It's crazy, right? They made the Terminator 2 gun in real life.
Dude, speaking of the RPG, that just made me think. A friend of mine, like 10, 11 years ago, was in Afghanistan. He was a Marine, and he had some very intense stories. And he was telling us one time when he has some drinks, he'll talk about it a bit. And one of the most traumatic things he said he saw was he was on patrol, like 20, 30 yards in between everyone as they're walking through. And he said that they started getting shot at and they saw like RPGs coming in. And he was like, there's no way to predict RPGs. Like you just don't really fucking know where it's going to go. And he said at the time, like they'd had an issue with like RPGs being shot at them and not exploding. Like they weren't blowing up, the insurgents, whoever was shooting.
Good problem to have.
Good problem to have. He told me 3 people in front of him, so like 90 yards in front of him, a RPG came in and it hit him. It didn't explode, but it hit him in the quad, and it like tore into his, basically destroyed his entire like quadricep, just ripping it apart, just mechanically. And he like, when he told me that, he's like, dude, like you can confirm this. Like this was a story. Like in the military, I was there for this.
Did he survive?
The guy did survive, if I recall. Yeah.
The best part of the story, though, is it didn't pass through his quad. It's stuck. Yeah. It's halfway in, halfway out of his leg.
One of my best friends was on that patrol. Yeah, he was there.
And those things have come with all kinds of different warheads, but it doesn't matter what kind of warhead it is when it's in your thigh. If it goes off, you
panic so much. Yeah, and like it doesn't even have to explode. Like once it's ripped your thigh out, do you know how much important shit is in your thigh? So much blood going through there. Like it's almost surprising he didn't.
I don't keep anything important in my thighs.
You don't?
Your pockets are.
Oh, that's true. My phone's near my thighs.
See, if it was your calf.
Didn't hit my phone. Didn't hit my phone. I can't look.
If it was your calf, it would have bounced off.
Right.
Yeah. Someone else would have got caught with the
Brandon knows the Lord.
I had a dummy RPG like that laying on the floor. And after that, I was in jail that night when I first got arrested. It's like 3-4 in the morning, and they come wake me up, and like you got to go through a whole thing to get out of your jail cell and into a room with normal people. There's shackles and shit, and door gates moving, and I finally get out there, and the feds are there, and they're like, "Hey, the RPG warhead in the floor, what's the deal with that?" I was like, "It's not real, it's rubber." He said, "Okay," turned around and left, and that was it. It was the most brief because they were just like looking into my room. It was the room where I used to record, that blue room. Yeah. It's just laying on the floor in there. But they were freaked out. They didn't want to mess with it.
It's amazing how many people...
like a piece of rubber, though.
That was true, I assume. It's
of
not
course,
real.
They didn't have a live warhead.
Like that'd be wildly out of character.
It would be wildly out of character. Like, I mean, that was my goal, was to make my own, right? That's why I wanted a Type 10 and FEL and like all the bits and bobs. But no, that was a chunk of rubber that I bought at Knob Creek.
Like shit.
I'm not afraid of
The
pain.
lead up
I'm
is
afraid of
terrible.
agony, right? Like I don't want to lay there rolling around, my guts are hanging out. I watch that Ukrainian shit, and I'm like, this is not for me. This is rough. You know, you see guys in agony over there on both sides, and it's not fun.
I see a drone drop a grenade on someone, and this is clearly a fatal hit. And then the next grenade just seems gratuitous. It just seems like
we brought two.
like, dude, did you have
Just a waste of money
twice? He was probably going to die. He definitely wasn't going to fight again. Why'd you nade him again?
When you watch people play games, like over a period of time, you start to recognize the meta, and then you watch it shift. In Tarkov, you'll see people using AKs, and then suddenly, M4s are back in vogue. You can watch that happening in Ukraine. There was a time when they were using like the VOG 17 grenades, and then you could tell that wasn't lethal enough, so they just put 2 of them on there. And then clearly they got this huge supply of like F1s as well. So now I see them dropping 2 of those at a time. And then recently I see like a whole new charge that might be just a Ukrainian-made drone bomb that they're making now. All sorts of stuff. Have
you seen that the shit about the Fanta bombs?
No, I haven't heard about that. Tell me.
I don't know what that is.
So I hope I'm not talking out of my ass here. Some of my buddies down here in Texas, they Texas Machine Gun Explosive Ordnance Co. They replicate a bunch of stuff. Like they replicated the Breaking Bad tortoise bomb with the head on it, Hello cool. DEA, like all that shit. This one that they did, it's basically like Anthos explosive or whatever, and with ball bearings around it in a Fanta soda bottle that is apparently like a Ukrainian improvised grenade. So they tested the effectiveness of that. And some of the shit that they're doing out there is just it's the necessity is the mother of all invention.
I guess they've just got maybe what do they have in the center? What's initiating the Fanta bomb? The Fanta bomb, yeah.
Something like I'm sure they're using all sorts of different stuff. Any kind of blasting or either det cord or I'm sure a grenade, like the cap of a grenade would do it just fine. There's still a charge in there. What is it?
Need something reliable. I was always scared of fuses. I don't know. Fusing techniques were always scary to me.
Same buddy of mine got fucked up because of a bad fuse on a grenade one time.
You trusted your life.
It fucked him. It got him. He got shrapnel to the legs and shit pretty bad. He was hospitalized, but it wasn't life threatening.
See, Taylor, you don't keep anything important in your thighs.
Whenever I would fuse detonating, the only thing I would trust for fuse detonating things was actual cannon fuse because I could see the shit. Yeah, and I knew how it worked. It's okay, I know how fast this burns. I know how much time I have. But anything else, especially anything that was recovered, we've disassembled something and put this together, I was just so scared of. Even the little blasting cap will just mutilate your hand. I don't want my hand. I never want my hands mutilated. I saw this video the other day, and I don't know, Venezuela or some shit.
Come on, Flipper.
This dude picks up what he thinks is a smoke bomb, but it was a fuse burning, and it looked like a quarter stick of dynamite went off in his hand, and it took off what he just said. He became fucking the Penguin. He lost multiple fingers, and when you lose them, it's not like a knife took them off. It's this hamburger that dangles, and there's bone attached and ligament and sinew and shit, and it's awful. And it must be the most painful thing, that kind of just smashing, tearing apart wound.
You gotta stop watching stuff like this.